Okay, exercise 9A. You're going to be using 9A helper. You're going to be using that file. You're going to be changing some settings, and then we'll end up drawing a rectangle with a couple lines, and this will be our new workspace where we'll do all of our lessons from now on. Okay, so first step we have to do is go ahead and get 9A helper open, and then we need to go through and do some setting changes. We've got to change our units, our drawing limits. We'll go Z enter, A enter. We'll check our line weight. We'll go and change our snaps and grids, and then we'll get ready to draw our rectangle. Okay, so first step is to get 9A helper open. So go to File, if you haven't done so already. Go Open, find your 9A helper, click on 9A helper, click Open. Okay, so let's take a look at the steps now we have to do. We've got to go Format, Units, go ahead and change that to decimal and to 3 decimal places. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Next step is to change the drawing limits. Format, Drawing Limits. Go ahead and take a look at the lower left corner. Make sure it's 0, 0. You hit Enter. And then the upper right corner, make sure it's 17, 11. Enter. Don't forget to go Z enter, A enter after you resize your paper size. Next step is to turn on our snap and grids. Make sure we have snaps on at 0.25. Let's make sure our grids are at also 0.25. We'll turn off our grid behavior. Okay, so snaps 0.25, grids 0.25, nothing on for grid behavior. Next step is to check your line weight. Come down to the LWT button, right click your mouse, go settings, make sure it's on inches, and then make sure the scroll bar here is on the second one from the left side. Looks like it checks out good. Okay, so again, we're at border layer. We're going to go ahead and click on line. I'm going to turn on my ortho so I get a nice straight line. Right now we don't need O-snap on, so let's go ahead and take off O-snap. Later on we're going to put it on, and I'll tell you which one we're going to be using. So for now we don't need it. Go ahead and click on the origin, which is 0, 0, and then notice how I can draw a line straight up. Okay, so we want to draw a line straight up. We're going to type in 10, and then you can hit enter. So go ahead and come over this way, type in 16, enter, come back down 10, and then come back to where you started from at the origin. Okay, so we got the outside box. Okay, now we're going to be offsetting some lines many times. So here's what we're going to have to do. You're going to go Modify. I didn't hit the wrong one here. Okay, Modify, Offset, Offset button, or O enter. So O enter. Type in 0.25 enter. So we're going to offset this one to the right, and we're going to offset this one up. Okay, go ahead and hit spacebar or escape. Now we're going to offset this line 14 to the right. So you're going to go O enter, 14 enter, click on the line, click to the right. This one needs to get offsetted 0.25 to the right as well. So O enter, 0.25 enter, click on it, click to the right. One more line to offset. The very bottom line needs to come up 0.75. So you're going to go O enter, 0.75 enter, click on the very bottom line, click somewhere above it. Okay, so we got our lines offsetted, and we're ready to go ahead and put in some text now. So go ahead and go to Text Heavy, zoom in over here, and then we're going to be putting our text right over here at the intersection of these two lines. Okay, so to put in the single line text, you're going to type in DT, enter. Go ahead and move your mouse to this corner spot right there where those two lines meet. Click. Just verify that the text height is 0.25, enter. Verify that the rotation angle is 0, enter. Then type in your text, EX-9A. Hit enter twice, 1, 2. Okay, I'm going to come over to the other side now. Now we're going to put your name. So you're going to go DT, enter. Where these two lines meet, right here, that's where you're going to put your name. So click at that intersection. Verify that the height is 0.25, enter. Verify the rotation angle is 0, enter. Type in your first name and your last name and make sure it's all caps. Hit enter twice when you're done. Okay. Now we've got to draw another line. Notice the distance between the beginning of your name and the left side of the rectangle. It's 0.25. We need to draw a line that's more or less the same distance from your last letter to your for a line right here. So click on line, and I'm going to come over here, and I'm going to draw a line straight down. Make sure this line is in border because it needs to match up with the lines as we drew before. Okay, so that's about 0.25, a little bit more, but that's close enough. And then this is 0.25. Okay, so I'm going to go Z enter A enter to see what I have. Before I put the title text in here, I'm going to clean things up a little bit so it's not so messy. So I'm going to go ahead and erase this line. I'm going to go right ahead and erase this line. I'm going to erase this line. And I'm also going to trim this line right here. Okay, so I'm going to zoom in a little bit. Trim button, or modify trim, or you type in TR enter. Okay, TR enter. Make sure you select, so this line and this line get selected. You hit enter and then just click the line above it, and notice that it disappears. Okay, next thing to do is go ahead and draw me a diagonal line. I need to take that ortho off from here to here. Good. Now here's where we're going to be using that OSNAP. Go ahead and turn on OSNAP, settings, and just make sure that midpoint is on. Midpoint. Okay, so the text we're going to put in, you're going to go DT, enter. You're going to justify the text. So that means you're going to go J, enter. We're going to justify middle the text, so click on middle. Now find the midpoint. See how the midpoint pops up right there? Right there. Okay, so no, but look at my snap. It's kind of preventing me from going over there. So I'm going to take off that snap. And I'm actually going to go to the point now. There we go, to the midpoint. So I'm going to click on that. Verify that the height is 0.25. Verify that the rotation angle is 0. And then type in your title. Enter twice. Now you can go ahead and erase that line. Z enter, A enter. Take off your grids. And then from now on, this is your assignment. You're going to be putting all your assignments. So 9B will be inside of here, 9C, 10A, 10B, and so forth. So this 9A, which you just created, is the new file that you're going to be using to work on all your assignments. To change the title, you do not want to erase it. You can just simply double click it, and then you can change the title that way when you do that. The same goes for over here. When you want, if you wanted to change the 9A to 9B, you would just double click it, and then you would change it to like 9B. Okay, so but if you erase it, then that means you're going to have to offset those lines again to find out the location of it. So it's better just to double click it and change the text that way. Okay, so with that information, you should be good to go on 9A.